So I was browsing through Facebook and I saw a post that piqued my interest. I pursued it and I saw that someone had posted, a former person that I have known, they've moved away, they were at my film school, they posted, "Come at me if you disagree, I'm full of sushi and ready for a fight." Well, Facebook. I'm always curious as to see how these things play out. It's interesting. And so I'm like, okay, let me just go and indulge myself. What are they talking about? And they shared this post. Things I don't debate with men. And they list off abortion, breastfeeding, menstruation, female body hair, birth control, access to feminine hygiene products as the sixth one. And then at the end it says, why? Because none of those involve the male body and therefore don't create any valid male opinions. And so I was saying to myself, something doesn't seem right. And it just dawned on me. The person who posted this doesn't identify fully as female. And I'm all teetering back and forth, and it's like, you never comment, in the Facebook comments when these things happen, because it's just a warfare and it doesn't get anywhere. But I was dying. I was just curious. I wanted to hear what they thought. And I commented to her request. She wanted to fight. And I knew that I shouldn't I shouldn't address those topics because some things like body hair, I didn't even know that was a problem, but I don't care about that. But things like, abortion or whatever, that we can have potential differences, but how we get there, the conclusion is very different. And for me to put my opinion on it isn't going to be valid to her because I come to a conclusion because of an outside source saying what is wrong or right, and she's coming to that source because of the body, and it's my body, and to be honest, she's right, because by her standards, she's right. I may not agree, but I can't argue that, because the basis of the argument, a lot of people want to focus on the information rather than like how you get there, and so it never gets anywhere. And so I'm one of those people that kind of poke at the foundation of things, and me realizing that this person is not fully woman. They are a woman transgender lesbian. But if you're a lesbian, that means you're a woman dating a woman. I don't get it. And so literally, I didn't get it. So I commented. And I mentioned their names, because I knew this person before this transition as one name, and then they changed their name. So who's talking, basically? I didn't know, is this the old person that I once knew? I'm not going to argue those topics because you're right, it's not my business, and I just didn't even want to address those because that wasn't my point. What I am missing is what you identify as. Since you say you won't debate those topics with men, assuming you are identifying as a woman, I guess I'm missing something. Can someone who doesn't fully identify as a woman defend or fight against these topics? What if I identified as gender fluid? Would I have a say? So basically, if I'm a person with male parts but identify as woman, could I have a say in this whole situation about abortion and breastfeeding and all that stuff? Could I actually have a say in it? These are honest questions. I really do not understand, and I say, give me some sushi, haha, to try to keep things light. I really just had an honest question, and I didn't want to sound like I was trying to be conniving or anything like that, but of course they didn't quite take it that way. Some person, I don't know this person, but they commented saying, this is pretty obvious, implying people with reproductive systems that include uteri and ovaries, and honestly, you being intentionally obtuse and invalidating ain't cute or original. And got a lot of likes on that. The problem was this. She just said, a woman has uteri and ovaries. Now, this got me a little more confused And of course, they were making things like, it's obvious, but no, it's not obvious because she doesn't identify as woman. She doesn't. And there's like this whole argument out there about how body parts don't determine your gender or what you identify as. And right there, she just squashed the whole argument. And I'm like, oh, okay, so I had to reply. Then explain it, because I am obviously confused. I'm not trying to be cute or obtuse. I truly do not understand. In a society when it is not set in stone what you are based on genitalia, how is this argument valid? I'm just like, this doesn't make any sense. And then I got the girlfriend talking, the girlfriend of the original person that was making this post. The original person never even commented. She only liked or responded to other people. And actually, some interesting things happened later on. But yeah, I got the girlfriend in this. And yes, there are some cuss words. I will spare you those. But the girlfriend says, if you still have a uterus and a menstrual cycle and the ability to get pregnant, then yes, you can absolutely have a say in this. But still, they didn't answer my question about, well, what if I'm gender fluid? You're saying women or something of that nature, not just those who have the body part, because there are people with the body parts that go the other direction. If they identify as male, can they still, I don't know. And then confused about what you're confused about. If you were gender fluid but had no uterus, why the if would you have a say in this? Respectfully, this is a very rude, crappy comment you have to have made. I don't understand how you're confused. Okay, I'm sorry that I asked the question because the logic wasn't there. I just had a question. And then I replied, and I won't share all of it because half of it is not really relevant because I try to appease the freak out that just happened. And I said, my confusion is that this person, to my understanding, does not identify 100% as woman. Though she, and I had said I don't know the proper pronouns she wanted to be called because I really didn't. I heard something about something they wanted to be a referenced as, and I had no idea. So I was like, I don't know. Can you please clarify? Basically, that's what I said. Has the body parts. She does not have the identity. So a person with male body parts but identifies as woman, can they argue for these topics? I'm not trying to be rude or mean. I want to clarify the confusion because I want to understand. So cuss me all I like. My intent is to learn, even if it sounds so simple to you. There are just some things that are not adding up to me. So I'm just, honestly, I'm curious as to the mindset. I mean, I guess sure, if in the end, if you have the body parts, regardless of what you identify as, you can have a say. However, the implication of the statement is that men don't have a say. So who are men? Now we're assuming men and whatnot, so which means the opposite do have a say, women. But what is a woman? Does it rely only on body parts? And by their definition, they are saying if you have the body parts, you have a say. So are you saying that you're a woman, but the person that posted this originally doesn't identify as woman? And so I just had an honest question. That's all it was, an honest question. And they get all mad at me. I'm just like, I don't know how to bring these things up without just being like, hey, so poke? I don't know, because I'm not going to go to the original, what they were wanting to say. I saw a greater issue or a logical crack, I guess I should say. And then, here we go with the person that commented first. Eric, you knew them, because I knew them when you went to CFS with them. I'm like, oh, okay. I mean, them is so general. And it sounds like I'm speaking to someone in the plural, which means there might be some other problems. It's overly pedantic. Sorry, I'm illiterate. To act like you can't understand this is referring to female reproductive systems and male reproductive systems when saying male and female, and it's just boring way of derailing the conversation. No. I was saying that as the argument I understand it, male and women, or male and female, don't depend on your physical nature. And for sure the language of the original post is trans exclusionary, but don't pretend you care about that. Okay, but no one's still answering my question. And they continue on. If nothing else, think of this person as the many, many angry bees inside of them right now and refer to the bees. This person will kill with their angry bee powers. I find it laughable you're correcting people on this. I find it laughable you're correcting people on if this is transphobic or whatever, but you're literally not even using the right pronouns for someone who has posted about and corrected people on their pronouns like 30 times this year alone. I'm sorry, I wasn't one of those people. And bees? She has a little honey. She doesn't seem very sweet. Not to me. And then it's like, I care about and she goes on again. This, or whoever this is, I care about the trans and want to be less confused. I'm going to be bluntly misgender the trans. Also you. Oh, she's saying what I'm saying. I want to care about the trans and want to be less confused, which is what I'm saying. And then it says, I'm also going to bluntly misgender I didn't bluntly. I knew this person as this other gender. We called her she. And then there was a transition. I was not really a part of that. We weren't around each other at that time. And so I had no idea. I remember some kind of thing about they wanting to be, when I'm saying it and all that stuff, I really don't know because I'm not in this. So if anyone who is transgender and all that stuff, no, I'm literally in a pool of confusion. I'm sorry. I don't mean to be, rude and all that, but I am in a state of, I don't want to refer to someone in the plural because that implies that they're schizophrenic or something. Us and I and me, we and stuff and me, we. So I literally was asking the question about, is it she? That's all I know to call her, them, they. But you say they normally to a group of people. So it was just interesting to me. Oh, and of course, let's see here. I think the issue is, and so I just kind of started to digress. I'm just like, okay, obviously my question is not being answered and we are not going to go anywhere. It's Facebook. What was I thinking? But what was interesting is that these were the only ones no one else, came to me. Or no one else commented. Not even the one who was ready for a fight in sushi. Like, I was waiting for my sushi. I didn't get any sushi. I even asked for sushi. Or I didn't ask for sushi. I said, give me some sushi. Ha ha. I mean, that's friendly, right? I wish I could get some sushi, but I didn't get any sushi. All I did was get a whole bunch of people that are mad and derailed and diverted the actual question. And I still yet to get to you, the not punchline, but the interesting part of this whole debacle. Anyways, I think the issue is you came here to fight while I came here to understand, which was quite literally what I came here to do. I didn't go there to fight or make anyone mad or anything like that. In a society where gender is not based on anatomy alone, it makes me curious how this all works. If I didn't care, I wouldn't have commented. And I did care. I really did care to actually understand the mindset. And yeah, I was not disappointed. So, question mark. All I've heard so far is that all I've heard so far is what identifies a woman, but that goes completely against gender fluidity completely, or trans. I literally don't understand. I am not around trans people enough to know, so I saw an opportunity to ask. So how are we supposed to find unity or understanding of each other if all you guys want to do is fight? Sounds not good to me. And then I say, and I thought there was an actual pronoun they wanted to go by, and I was wrong. It was a simple question. That was it. And so I was trying to have a civil conversation because I had no idea how this all works. And so, kind of them, that person that... the first person that responded to my message gave me like 8 links or whatever on transgender. I'm like, thanks. And I like some of them just to show that, okay, fine. I want to show that this thing is dividing us. And if what you are believing is creating division and fueling you to fight other people, and so this is implying some other deep-seated issues, so I have been seeing. Because this last thing, that the girlfriend of this transgender woman, lesbian, which means you're a woman, but you don't identify as a woman, the girlfriend commented, It's fine to want to learn. It's appropriate to privately message someone asking a genuine question. It's embarrassing, hurtful, and unnecessary to comment on a post asking whether or not they were qualified to discuss something based on their gender identity, when apparently you weren't even sure what the identity was. Sorry, I guess there's like 56 of them. I mean, I might miss one. Next time, err on the side of caution. If you're not sure, ask privately before publicly ask things that are sure to cause emotional and mental harm. Or IDK, Google it. Okay, fine. So this is what happened. The original person actually got hurt about this. Now, am I supposed to feel hurt when they talked about men not having like a say and being very direct with my gender identity? When I was trying to figure out their gender identity and saying that very direct, I mean, if your gender identity creates such a situation where if someone is directly addressing it, and you actually have to have your girlfriend to fight for you, or you have to have someone else to support you, or somehow, and not be able to address things directly yourself, that means there's something else wrong. I'm sorry, honey. That's just something in me just doesn't sound right. Now, there are other things, of course, I can also go into, but that is not the point. The point is there are some obvious deep-seated issues and some logical problems that I don't see correlating very well. So, what do you guys think? Now, I want to get your thoughts. I want to hear them, but be respectful. And yeah, you might see this as silly. You might see that, I mean, who knows? I don't know. I don't care. But what I do care is that we just try to keep things a little bit constructive and respectful in the comments. I mean to be a little like satirical, because something about it just seems silly to me. The logic of it doesn't make sense, and there's certain implications that if you cannot actually address a certain topic or a question, or you pull up this fight and you're ready for fists, and one little poke, all I did was a little poke, and they were up like ready to fight. I'm like, okay, that was already, why do you want to fight? Why? Okay, is like unity, peace, anything like that, or do you actually want to fight? That already kind of says something to me that shows that something about this mindset isn't healthy. All right, so leave your comment sections. Leave your comments down below, and I'll be seeing you guys in another video, another live. Remember to keep it respectful, and I will see you later. Because I reset my tech. I don't know what I'm saying.